Okay. AI is not being dumb. Good. Let's hope that this does actually take us to Kuldahar. Alright, so East Haven is inaccessible right now. Because of the winter.
Fighting their way through the goblin-infested valley of the pass, the survivors of the doomed East Haven expedition at last came upon the small hamlet of Kuldahar. Nestled within the roots of a massive oak tree, the tiny cottages were a welcome sight for the weary travelers. As the party approached the town, a warm breeze blew over them, chasing away the chill of the frozen pass, and carrying with it the sweet scent of cooking fires.
Well, at least we'll be safe for a while. Also, does that narrator sound like Tenzin to anyone else? I'm gonna have to look that up later.
Certainly.
Who are you? I knew you'd make it through. I just knew it. Who are you, and how did you know we were coming? I'm Nate. Arundel said that help was on its way. I've been out here every day, keeping a lookout for you. Where's the rest of your army? Are you just the scouts or something? Who is Arundel? Arundel's my friend. He's the oldest and smartest man in the whole world. He can talk to animals, you know. You should probably go see him. He'll be wanting to talk to you. Very well. Where can we find this Arundel? He lives across this bridge on the other side of the brook. Just look for the house with the 3 big rocks out front. Stop right there. Don't take another step closer. Who are you? How did you get through the pass? I mean no harm. What's wrong? We've had some troubles of late, and now we've got strangers in town that shouldn't have been able to make it through the pass. Care to explain how you got here? We were part of an expedition from East Haven, but not all of us made it. My sympathies for your fallen comrades. What happened? The pass is snowed in, and to make things worse, there's a horde of creatures in the pass, mostly goblins and orcs. I doubt any caravans will be through for quite some time. That is grim news indeed. I fear things here in Kuldahar are not much better. You may wish you'd stayed in East Haven. Tell me about Kuldahar. What do you want to know about Kuldahar? Where did you want to know what's been going on around Kuldahar? Around Kuldahar? Do you mean the weather? This winter's been a season of evil here in Kuldahar. People vanishing, sudden storms, monsters sighted in the pass. It's all going to get a lot worse before the year is done, mark my words. I see. Anything else you can tell me? Ask some of the other townsfolk. They might know something I don't. And you'll never know what bit of information they got in their heads that might randomly cough up when asked. Very well then. Can you tell me a little about the town? Well, Kuldahar is not a big place, but I can tell you a bit about it if you want. We saw a tower by the tree from the road. Is that your local watchtower? No, that's the tower of Auric the Grey. Fortunate we are to have a wizard this far north. Friendlier than most spellcasters I've known. He values his privacy, but I still see him tip back a tankard or two with the best of them at the root cellar. He's got some goblins that does chores for him. Wait, those are his goblins? So if that's the case, then who's controlling them? Or has he gone mad? Huh, that's an interesting bit of information. Let's see. How long has that tree been here? It's huge. Been here as long as I can remember. A blessing as near as I can tell. The chilly weather doesn't even touch the town with the tree growing here. It radiates enough heat to keep things green, which is a sight for tired eyes here in the north. But hells, if you came through the pass, you'll know that already. Any supply shops or weapon shops? There's 2. If weapons are what you're wanting, go see Conlon the smith in the northern center part of town. His forge is burning day and night, so it's hard to miss. If you're looking for general supplies, go see Gareth. His shop's near Kuldahar's Run, north of the bridge. It's got a railing that runs around the edge and juts out over the water. I thought I saw a ship lying by the great tree when I came in. Oh, you mean that airship Fiddlebender's holed up in? Yeah, well, for the whole story, you'll have to speak to him about it. This Fiddlebender, he lives in the airship then? Aye, Fiddlebender's a local alchemist, I guess you southerners might say. Makes potions and concoctions, and the occasional explosion. He'll need to start adding chimneys to pump out the smoke at the rate he's going. Alright, so a fair amount of information within that. So, I guess step 1, let's go find that well, let's start walking into places and see what we find. Okay.
Right on it.
Alright, this place to start selling things. Good place to start. Ah, where so the wind blows, travelers seek shelter. And supplies, mayhap. Good day and cheer to you, sir. My name is Girth. I tell by the cut of your cloth and your bearing that you are a visitor, fresh to Kuldahar. Is there something you wish to purchase? What is this place? This is my shop, friend. I supply caravans in the shade of this great oak. This shop was my father's, and my father's before him, and it dates almost 3 generations back, if you can believe it. Like many of the places in Kuldahar and the surrounding lands, there is much history to be found if one digs deep enough. Are you a historian? Nay, I wouldn't go so far as to say that. I dabble in time's passage, perhaps, but it is not a full-time occupation, merely a hobby. I do enjoy learning more of the past and examining trinkets from around the area. I have quite a collection, a little museum of sorts. Some call it junk, but what sort of things do you collect? Keys, notes, books on the region. If you happen to come across any on your travels, I'll pay a fair sum for them to take them off your hands. If I come across keys, books, or documents that I made later, can I purchase them back? Of course. I purchase such things only for my own interest and to preserve the history and culture of the region. They do not end up on a rattling caravan to some Kalimshan market, that's for sure. Very well. So if I want to get rid of stuff like the caravan note, I guess I can come here. The problem is it doesn't look like I can sell any of my weaponry. It's a bunch of gems. Ah, histories. Yay. Bardic Horn of Valhalla. Valhalla? I didn't think that it relied too much on Nordic mythology. Let's see. Ah, useful. Oh, only usable by bards. Crap. And another thing usable only by bards. Well, that's fun. Let's go through this. The first flowering. For millennia, gold elves dwelt in Ilifarn, where Waterdeep now stands, and Eolarn, along the river Shining. From their ornate forest cities, they traded with emerging human nations like Netheril and Ilusk, and repulsed the attacks of the goblin races. Meanwhile, dwarven clans united as the nations of Delzun, named for the dwarf who forged the Union. The nation, existing primarily underground, extended from the Ice Mountains to the Nether Mountains. Silvermoon Pass was it? Okay, most of this is going over my head because I don't know enough about Faerun in general. So it looks like if I want to sell my weapons, this might not be the right place, but yeah, it doesn't look like I can sell any of these. Alright then, we'll have to find the smithy. At least I know who to talk to if I want an interesting conversation, perhaps.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, so you're another townsperson. Probably get the same dialogue options regardless of what I pick. So let's get a sense of what the area's like. So, let's see what you have to say. A goblin.
I'll get right on it.
Hey! Phew! No sneak up on Weenog like that. Who are you? Me, Weenog. Who you? I am Johanna. Who lives here? Surely this tower cannot belong to you. No, tower belong to master. Weenog only servant. Cleans town, makes beds, cook tasty food for the master. The master? Who is your master? Oruk, the master. Great wizard the master is. Weenog serves the master so one day he can be great wizard too. I see. Where might I find this great wizard? The master is in study. Through door. Go in if you want to speak with the master. Weenog not allowed in study. Master keeps powerful magics in there. Books, papers, and wizard things that Weenog not understand. Thanks, Weenog. Farewell. I assume this is where I can
We'll see
get a
about
bunch
that.
of other things as well. Well now, what have we here? It's been a long time since I have had guests. Welcome. My name is Oric. What brings you to my humble home? I would like to ask you some questions about disturbances in the past. Ah yes, the disturbances. I'm afraid I can't be of much help to you there. I rarely leave this tower for any reason, you see. My studies prevent me from taking an active interest in the affairs of the people of Kuldahar. Their problems are no concern of mine. But you live in Kuldahar. How can you not care what happens to the town and its people? I've had many homes. Kuldahar is not the first and certainly won't be the last. It is unfortunate that these simple folk have been made to suffer so, but I have no desire to get involved. All that matters to me is my work. What is so important about your work? Everything. Knowledge is the one true source of power in this universe. Everything else is fleeting. I have spent years collecting these tomes and scrolls you see before you. They are my life's work. Contained within their passages are the clues that may one day unlock the mysteries of an ancient and nearly forgotten arcane lore. What sort of arcane lore? My studies revolve around the arcane lore that deals specifically with the creation of mythals. A mythal is a powerful elven enchantment that is essentially a weave of protective magic that can be cast over a vast area. I've discovered numerous historical accounts of elven mages laying such mythals over an entire city. Interesting. Tell me more. The details of the accounts are vague at best. The mages of the old elven kingdoms vanished long ago, retreating to the safety and isolation of the Isle of Evermeet. It seems that all their written knowledge of mythal enchantment has vanished with them. For over a decade I have traveled the realms, searching for remnants of this forgotten lore. That is what brought me to Kuldahar. You think the answers you seek are here in Kuldahar? Not exactly. While exploring the fabled ruins of Mithranor, I came across an old, tattered manuscript buried amid the rubble of an ancient, abandoned library. The manuscript made several references to an elven outpost located somewhere within the spine of the World Mountains. Naturally, I came here to find the settlement. Thus far, I have been unable to locate it. Well, if I come across any elven ruins, I'll be sure to let you know. I appreciate your interest. If by some miracle you find this lost elven outpost and happen upon any material regarding mythals, please deliver them to me here. I'm willing to pay a handsome reward for such a service. I'll remember that. I see. Okay, so for purchasing, link to offer certain spells. Okay. Actually, a fair amount of stuff here. I could dump a megaton of stuff on you. But here's the real thing I want. Now, okay, someone with an open inventory. What is this? This small talisman was the clasp of a cloak owned by the notoriously tough warrior known as Bron Balin. On at least 10 different instances during Bron's life, he was reported as dead after getting himself involved in some horrible situation. Some enemies shot him full of crossbow bolts and pushed him into the ocean with lead weights only to be killed by him a month later in a tavern 400 miles away. On another occasion, Bron's cowardly companions abandoned him when they were attacked by direwolves in the wilderness. 2 weeks later, Bron swaggered into their camp wearing wolf skins. Whether all the tales surrounding Bron are true or not, it is known that Bron is believed to have met his end in the spine of the World Mountains, fighting polar worms. Okay, so something to give me resistances to crap. And then a bunch of stuff. Wow, there's a ton of expensive crap here. So, step 1. Let's have... Okay, I've got way too much inventory space, but at least I know where I can go for more magic. So, I'm not going to go too much into it yet. So in the meantime, let's just find a place to sell our junk. I guess that'll be my main goal right now, which means I'll find everything but that, right? That's the way these games work.
Welcome. I've been expecting you for some time now.
Expecting us? How is that possible? We've only just recently arrived in town.
Yes, well, bad news travels upon swift wings in these mountains. I know about your expedition from Easthaven. I know why you are here, for it was I who sent for you.
You sent for us? I don't understand.
I am Arundel, known to some as the Archdruid of Kuldahar, though I invite you to dispense with the formalities and just call me Arundel, plain and simple. Titles tend only to serve one's own vanity and aren't really of much use in this small mountain community.
You are the Archdruid, eh? Then I assume you can tell me what is going on around here.
Yes. It was I who sent Hallister to Easthaven for help. His death weighs heavily upon my conscience. For not only was he a student of mine, but he was also a friend and trusted companion. He will be missed. As will Hrothgar and the other members of your expedition.
You knew
Let
Hrothgar?
us say I knew of him. Word of his deeds has reached even our small, isolated town. I also know that his death, tragic as it is, was no accident. Someone or something did not want your party to reach Kuldahar alive.
This someone or something, I presume, is the reason you sent for help.
There are malevolent forces at work in these mountains. Forces that seek to undermine the delicate balance we druids have struggled to preserve for centuries.
Malevolent forces? Could you be more specific?
Oh, would that I could. The face of the evil remains hidden, but its presence is unmistakable. All about us, there are signs of its damaging influence on the balance. The unnatural weather, the recent rash of abductions, the numerous monster sightings in the pass.
Wondered about that.
These all point towards something sinister. Even the animals sense something is amiss.
Can you tell me more about these disturbances?
I can only tell you of what little I know. Which disturbances would you have me speak of?
Tell me of the unnatural weather.
The weather in these mountains has always been harsh, but never like this. Fierce storms ravage the valley without warning, often lasting for several days at a time, before vanishing as quickly as they come. It is barely midway into leafall, and yet the pass to the south has been snowed in entirely. Weather such as this is most unnatural. Nature presents itself in cycles that are predictable by those who know what to look for. I can only... Oh, yes. Terrible, terrible. At first, there were tales told by travelers of companions disappearing into the night, snatched up from their bedrolls as they camped along the narrow trail that winds through the pass. We did not think much of these tales, for such occurrences are not unheard of in these mountains. Then one night, Conlan's boy, Sheemish, went missing. The next morning, the whole town searched for the boy, but turned up nothing. He was just gone, vanished, without a trace.
That is strange indeed.
The boy was just the first. Several nights later, another disappeared. Megan Potts, the local midwife. Her husband, Khalil, was grief-stricken to the point of madness. With barely a word to anyone, he snatched up his sword and marched off into the darkness after his wife. No one has heard from him since.
Oh.
And now, the abductions are occurring more frequently. Iden, the old innkeeper from the Evening Shade, was taken only 3 days ago.
That's not good.
I can only tell you, as I'm sure you have noticed by now, there seems to be quite a few goblins about. It is not usual to see so many of their kind roaming the mountains so late in the year. It is almost as something has drawn them out of their holes, like carrion birds drawn to the scent of death.
What we heard from that goblin originally, yeah, it seems like he's not far off.
As if the goblins weren't enough, several giants have been spotted moving through the pass in groups as large as 10. That many giants traveling together in such numbers indicates they are organized and are acting with a singular purpose. I have watched their activities closely. Their tracks trace a deliberate pattern through the mountains, almost as if they were on patrol. Another thing, while I was out scouting the giants, I discovered other sets of tracks I have never encountered before. What manner of beast made them? I could not say.
That's no fun.
I can only tell you of what
Okay.
little I know. Which disturbances would you have me speak of?
Okay, so we've heard all about that. You spoke before of balance. What sort of balance are you talking about?
The balance. It is what the druids of Kuldahar hold sacred and have worked to preserve for generations. It is all around us. It is us. Balance is the harmony that is achieved when man and nature learn to coexist, no longer contending with one another, but coming together as two parts of a whole.
What can you tell me about the druids of Kuldahar?
Balance is the belief that this town is built upon, the very reason for its existence. Druids of Sylvanas, the Oak Father, have tended this shrine since the beginning. For hundreds of years, we have striven to achieve the ideal balance between man and nature. When settlers finally came to this pass, it was the Archdruid Tolban, my predecessor, who laid the foundation for the relationship that led to the birth of this community.
Shrine? What shrine are you talking about?
The great oak, the massive tree that stands above us, around us. It is a holy shrine to Sylvanas, for it was he who planted its seed when Faerun was first born. It is a testament to the raw power of nature, a monument to its ability to thrive in the face of adversity. Thanks to Tolban, the great oak we druids called the Kuldahar and the town that has come to be known by the same name have together become a monument of even greater significance. A monument to the balance.
Who is this Tolban?
Tolban was the catalyst for the transformation of the shrine from a sacred grove to a thriving community in which man and nature exist as one. At first, settlers were kept away from the site. The druids of old saw outsiders as an affront to the sanctity of the tree and its sphere of benign influence. They erected thorny brambles to keep intruders out, and used their powers to frighten away the men and women that came to build homes in a place they felt was obviously so close to the gods. It wasn't until the succession of Archdruid Tolban that things changed. Unlike his predecessors, he believed that the settlement of the valley was not only inevitable, but it was actually the will of Sylvanas.
Seem to be a lot of people who see that, or at least see something akin to that, at least if Tempest is anything to go by.
He also believed that we had been wrong in keeping the settlers away, and that the Oak Father had intended people to share in the miracle of the Great Oak from the beginning. When Tolban finally became Archdruid, he formed a plan to fulfill the destiny of this sacred site by bringing about a union between the Great Oak Shrine and the settlers. It was this union that the Archdruid Tolban believed would achieve the harmony that we had been striving for generations. The harmony between man and nature. As it stands, Kuldahar is a monument to this vision. The tree and town exist in a natural symbiosis, where it is next to impossible to tell where one leaves off and the other begins. But now, the balance is threatened.
I see. So what are we to do about all this?
I fear that if we do not soon discover the source of these disturbances, then all that we have worked for will be destroyed.
Well, given what I saw with the goblins, that's not entirely far off, perhaps.
The evil that has come to these mountains infects this town like a disease. As its people suffer, so does the tree suffer from the sickness that attacks the balance, corrupting it with its very presence. Already, the circle of warmth that radiates from the Great Oak has begun to recede. We were forced to abandon the outlying farmsteads as a result of the shrine's fading power. If we do not take action soon, I am afraid that the life-giving warmth will cease altogether.
Wondered about that. Why else would you put out a farmstead in the middle of the cold?
Both the Great Oak and the town, nestled within its roots, will die. This must not happen. We need your help.
Very well. Together we shall root out this evil that threatens this town. What must we do?
I suggest you begin by investigating the Vale of Shadows. It is a place not far from here. Darkness has always clung to the floor of the small canyon, as if the light of the sun itself were wary of the place. There are a number of ancient crypts hidden within the shadows of the Vale's narrow cliff walls. There have been rumors of the dead awakening and emerging from their dusty tombs to walk once more amongst men. If these rumors are true, then I suspect that whatever is responsible for disturbing their slumber may be behind the other disturbances as well. Go to the Vale of Shadows, learn what you can about the happenings there, then return here and we shall discuss a course of action. Good luck, and farewell.
Why do I get the feeling that this is going to be far beyond
Certainly.
what's affected by that? Or whatever it's in this Veil of Shadows. Because that seems a little too simple. At least if we were seeing frost giants. Either way, let's just find the blacksmith. What's this? The inscription upon this stone statue reads, "In memory of the Archdruid Tolban, founder of Kuldahar." Okay, so that's what the guy actually looks like. It's this. Potter. I'm assuming that's someplace... Alright. Okay, so that's probably just a tradesman, or craftsman of some kind. Now, where exactly do I need to go for... Okay, the Root Cell Tavern. Tells me what I need to know about that. Now, where's the blacksmith? Run! The Vale's filled with Yetis! Tried to outrun them, but two of them still chasing me! Run! Get help! Yetis? I didn't think they were a thing. Please don't hurt me. Okay, that hurt. Actually, that didn't hurt as much as I expected. Are you gonna attack him or what? Come on, guys.
Set me to work. Attack!
Go ahead.
Get up. Yetis, huh? That's no fun. Okay. Actually, I know how to make space in my inventory. Equip random weapons. Not an ideal circumstance, but it'll allow us to get whatever these pelts are. What is it? Yeti fur? Ah, Yeti pelts. Okay, so you take one of these. Where do I want to go? Ooh, that's a little too heavy for you. Can you... Yeah, that should work, I think.
I'll get right on it.
Ah, you're encumbered. Great. Now I really need to find the blacksmith. Come on. Is it in one of these? Actually, in all likelihood it is. Let's go investigating. Yes, I know that Johanna's encumbered. We'll get that sorted. What's in here? Come on. Nope.
Sure.
Come on.
Okay,
What about over here?
I trust you.
Definitely not.
Certainly.
Alright. Eventually I'll find this, right?
Sure.
I better just have my laptop open next time I'm playing this just so I can figure out where everything is. This is obnoxious. No matter, we carry on. Oh, that looks fancy. Probably leads to some kind of shrine or something. Okay, so there's the airship, in case I need any sort of potions. And this looks like a blacksmith. Yep, blacksmith's anvil. And meanwhile, Johanna's just trudging along. Come along! We have stuff to sell. And then stuff to buy later.
Okay.
Welcome, stranger. What can I do for you? Greetings. My name is Johanna. Who might you be? The name's Conlon. I'm the local smithy of these here parts. If you need a sharp blade or stout mace, I'm the man here. Best take advantage while I'm still here. While you're still here, are you going somewhere? I suppose so. With all the skullduggery that's been going on around here, I imagine I'll not be around much longer. I see. So you're planning on leaving town. Ha! I wish that were possible. The southern pass has long since been snowed in by this damnable weather we've been having lately. Now I hear tell that even the northern route to the 10 towns has been blocked by an avalanche. Mark my words, none of us will last through this winter. We're all done for. I have no intention of dying here. Why is it that you are so ready to line your own grave? Not much for me to live for, really. My Mary passed a few years ago from the fever. And now my son's gone missing, snatched out of his bed in the middle of the night, right out from under my nose. He was just a boy. I'm sorry, Conlon. Any idea who or what took him? If I knew that, do you think I'd be standing around here pounding at metal? He's just vanished, I tell you. Gone without a trace. Even old Arundel couldn't find a trail, and he's got a nose for such things. I imagine whatever took him will come back for me next. I can't say it'll be unwelcome. I've spoken with Arundel. He believes the source of the disturbances may lie within the Veil of Shadows. The Veil of Shadows, eh? That doesn't surprise me. That place reeks of evil. Most folks in town avoid it like the plague. Those that wander off in that direction are never heard from again. Alright, now I can finally sell all this crap. Let me do that, and then we'll move on with our lives. Let's keep the Yeti pelts around, because I think I can get a better price than that. I don't know, maybe. Let's just sell one. We'll sell one. Keep the other around. Could be useful for something. Meanwhile... Well, now I know that small shields and battle axes are completely useless, so note to self, stop bothering with goblin crap. Build up short sword collections instead, right? Ugh. These short bows are worth a decent amount given the current setup. Still not great, though. Once this has been taken care of, I can go grab another Identify scroll to teach our other mage. Rest for a little bit, and then hopefully get on with our lives. Actually, I'll probably end right here, though. Let's just learn the Identify scroll and then move on. As I do have finals to worry about, so probably would be best if I just stopped here for the moment. Nice. So, I'll switch your Memorize spell to Identify. We'll look at that stuff later. Okay, so I'll make my way over here and then move on. So, as far, it's certainly been interesting. A bit more focused on combat than well, I knew it would be focused on combat, but I am a little worried as to whether I'll like this game as much as I did Planescape Torment and Baldur's Gate because of that. Because I remember not liking Baldur's Gate as much because it was so focused around combat and it was a bit tedious to get through everything. Well, I don't know. Baldur's Gate 2 had a good mix of things, but I don't know. Planescape Torment was fascinating because of the story. I don't know if this game will be able to hold my attention because I do play CRPGs for the story. That's really what it comes down to. So the question for me is whether or not it'll be able to hold my attention outside of that. I'm sure we'll find out before too long, but either way, something to consider. So the hope is that it does continue to hold my attention. And if I'm already dying, then that's not a good sign. Oh dear. Hopefully it'll all work out for the best one way or the other. So, either way, let's just grab an Identify spell. I might want to grab a few other things while I'm at it, but either way, let's just go simple. We'll just grab another Identify scroll so I can teach our Mage Cleric. Okay, no, I'm not accepting that loss. No. I am not wasting good money like that. Oh, nope, don't delete that. Okay, we're good. We're good. We are good.
Yes, sounds good to me.
Okay, did I already purchase it? Okay. There we go. Now I can set you to have that as your Memorize spell for the moment. Then I just need to head over to
I'm ready.
the tavern.
Certainly.
Then I can investigate everything from there. So, thanks for watching. I'll see you all later.
Okay. I trust you.